got a new camera. So out of all of the terrible things at my job, if there's one thing that I enjoy, it's that there's no uniforms. Of all the crap customers and stupid policies, I'm awarded at least this one small, minuscule piece of dignity. But if I'm wearing my street thread to work, that means it can be hard for some people to tell whether or not I'm actually an employee. Most of the time, it only takes a short dialogue to clear up where I'm working. Why would I deceive anyone about working in this horrible pack and ship place? However, about a year ago, I discovered that some people may need more convincing than others. So I'm reading my book in the comfortable chairs on the opposite side of the counter when a lady walks in carrying a bunch of loose stuff that I can only assume she wants to ship. So I close my book, lay it on the counter, and walk up to help her carry the stuff and set it on the counter. While still on the opposite side of the counter, I start up the scripted screenplay that is greeting the customer. How are you doing today, ma'am? So what are we doing with all this stuff today? What's it to you? Whoa, geez, attitude. So just in case you forgot, your line is, well, thank you. I'm doing really well today. I actually just have some stuff that I really need to ship. Well, I just thought maybe you needed to ship this stuff. Wait, do you work here? Actually, yeah, I do. You don't work here. I beg your pardon? Yeah, see, I'm in here almost every day, and I've never seen you in here before. Every time I've come in here, they always are wearing a uniform. So, for the record, in this point in my lame career choice, I've been working at this job for over a year, and I've never seen her before. She's never come in, ever. Whether or not we've just never been in the store at the same time, or that she's just flat lying, I decided to try to prove my innocence by walking around the counter and going to the drawer. Big mistake. Oh my god, get out of there! Don't go back there! Don't touch anything! Calm down. It's okay. I work here, honestly, I really do. She and I slowly crawl along this tangent for a few more minutes as we argue the legitimacy of my employment. In order to move this process along faster, I open up my shipping software and start typing in the information that I know. This is apparently the breaking point. She has had far too much of my facade. So, I don't know if anyone is back there at all, but I just wanted to let you know that there's a strange kid out here touching the drawer and getting into everything. I've never seen him here before, and I don't think he's supposed to be here. The good news is that I'm the only one in the store. My boss already went out to lunch, and he's not going to be back for another hour. The bad news is that I work right next door to an ice cream shop, which is separated only by a thin wall. In my course of working there, I've also learned that anything shouted on one side of the wall can be very clearly heard on the other. Now, I have friends that work over in that ice cream shop, and I'd hate for them to think that my store is being robbed while I'm in it. Whoa, stop, please. Just calm down for 1 second. Totally not necessary. I work here, I promise. I have worked here for over a year. I promise you. Look. You better get your story straight right now, because I'm leaving and I'm coming back with either the store owner or the police. So you better leave as soon as I get here or find a uniform, because you're going to be in some serious trouble when I get back. Just remember that. So she aggressively collects her items and storms out the door to her car, with which she then drives away. At that point, honestly, I didn't really mind. She could have found my boss and came back with him, with which then he would recognize me, or she was more than welcome to find the police and drag him in, cause then I would just prove that I worked there anyway. An hour goes by and my boss returns to the store. When I see him walking up to the door, I run to the bathroom because I've really got to go, and it's really sort of hard to go when you're the only person in the store. After I'm finished, I begin heading out of the back room and into the main part of the store, where I can see my boss working on the computer and messing with the drawer. I can also see the lady coming back alone. So I stay in the back of the store while she enters, sees my boss, and rushes up to him in a frenzy. Oh my god, I'm so glad that I found you. I was just in here like an hour ago, and there was a strange kid in here, and he was walking behind the counter and getting into the drawer. I don't know if he took anything, if you need to check and make sure that he didn't steal anything. Maybe you forgot to lock the door or set the alarm. If you need to call the police, I can stay here and witness for you. Much like any small business owner, my boss tends to be sort of a miser. A penny saved is a penny earned. So the thought of anybody being in the store, robbing it, stealing it, or being where they shouldn't belong is a horrifying thought indeed. Huh. Do you want to explain any of this? The woman is looking with him and follows his gaze over to where I'm at. You're still here? Wait. Are you talking about him? Yeah, that's him! That's the kid! Ma'am, he's worked here for over a year. Oh. Thus the transaction reaches the ultimate peak of awkward. She completely ghosts me as her and my boss finish up doing her shipment and completing her transaction. So when everything is finally said and done and she's just about ready to leave, she can't help but slip in that final word. You know, I was just thinking that it might be wise to implement a uniform policy because it can be very confusing to consumers coming in here about who works here and who doesn't. Just saying for the future. Let it be stated for the record that no form of uniform policy has been implemented, hence the incident. And why should there be? There's only 3 of us that work there. Me, my boss, and 1 other co-worker. There's a lot of downtime at Chip and stuff. We don't know when it's going to get busy during the day, so a lot of the time we're just standing around at the register or sitting and reading, so it helps for us to be comfortable since we have to be staying in the same positions for long periods of time while we wait for customers to come in. And even if I was impersonating an employee, I'm not even sure what she expected me to do. Maybe take her money and then her stuff, as she thought that I would have shipped it to wherever it was going. Which, in hindsight, is not a bad scheme, actually. At the end of the day, maybe she had a point after all. But, like I've said before, trust your customer service reps. We don't want to make your day any worse. Our days suck enough just being at our job. Why would we want to make it any worse for anybody else? See you in RVADA.